Tony, I just received my game plan from your offices and must say I am truly impressed. As someone who understands the value of time, I've got to ask, how long did it take your office to put this plan together?
Welcome back to the Worry-Free Retirement. And before we answer this TNT, this is kind of interesting. On page 48 and 49 of the Worry-Free Retirement Process book, which we're featuring today that I wrote recently, this gets into the Charles Schwab bucket specifically. So we'll come into that in just a second. But let's first answer this TNT. So this is a great question. Someone has gone through our process, especially those who have worked with other advisors or so-called planners, and they see the amount of detail we have, and this is their reaction when they see our game plan. So what I thought I would do is just take us through a timeline. Now, it varies depending on the complexity of the case I'm working with, but we're going to kind of go through a timeline of how long it generally takes us from start to finish, from the time I meet with someone until the time that they decide to do business. So let's take a look at this full screen, Aaron. Okay, first of all, there's the first initial meeting with me. In almost all cases on a first appointment, if somebody responds to a request to meet, they've seen the show, they've seen an ad, they're going to meet with me in person. And generally those meetings last 30 minutes. So there's 30 minutes right there. Then I'll take that information, if I think that can help them, to put into our game plan, and I do a review of their situation and lay out the game plan first before turning that over to the income planning department. Let's put another 30 minutes up there, Aaron. So now we've got an hour into this thing. Then we meet with the income planning department, and I have to explain the plan to them because they in turn are going to put it in our proprietary software. Well, let's put another 20 minutes on there. So now we got an hour and 20 minutes into this. This again before we've actually done the plan. So then Lisa Allerkamp, who's in charge of our income planning department, will delegate all of the different things that go into the plan. And generally, on average, I've asked Lisa, I said, how long does it take you to do a plan? And she said if it's fairly complex, it will take us 3 to 4 hours just to put the plan together. So let's say 3 hours. So now what is that, 4 hours and 20 minutes or whatever? And again, folks, we haven't even presented the plan yet. Keep in mind, if you qualify for this service, this is absolutely free and there's no obligation. So then I meet with them a second time. I usually spend 30 to 45 minutes with them going over the plan. So we'll add that to the mix there, whatever we're up to now, Aaron. Then they usually take that with them because we want them to study it, make sure they understand it. In many cases, they'll follow back up with our office. Usually they'll talk to Heather Hughes, who's kind of next in the chain of command in terms of fiduciaries that I like to talk about and also talk about the plan. They might spend 20 to 30 minutes with Heather, and then they say, all right, we're ready to move forward. So what do we got there? 5, 6, 7 hours we've got into the plan before we've even done the overall plan. So what happens next? We move all the money over. That may take our time an hour to 2 hours to get everything moved over. Again, we're doing all this with no upfront out-of-pocket costs, folks. And then here's the beauty. They become a client. All of the monies arrive at Tony Walker Financial, and we put together this wonderful, what we call binder delivery to explain the reaction. In fact, it was Trey Jurgens who actually met this fellow that got this reaction of the binder delivery process. I'm going to turn it over to my favorite son-in-law, Trey, to describe how this process works.
Yeah, so the binder delivery appointment is kind of the final appointment in our process. It's really the culmination of all of our planning. It's when all the accounts are established, funded, all the annuity contracts are ready to be delivered, and it's really kind of ties the bow around the whole thing. So it's not uncommon to hear a wow in those appointments. This client actually really understood the time and the attention to detail that went into it. So that delivery appointment, like I said, is kind of the culmination. And for most clients, it's the time that their finances have probably felt the most organized in their life.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.